Doctor Who.
Yes, let's talk more about the first female Doctor played by Jodie Whittaker. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Okay. Okay, let me post it. First woman to play the Time Lord will bow out in autumn 2022, along with showrunner Chris Chibnall. I find it more interesting that Chibnall's bowing out, because frankly, if she left and he's still there, there's still a
Yeah,
problem,
they were a
right?
package
Okay.
deal. They came in together. They're leaving together.
Okay, because I don't care who plays the Doctor next. If it's Chibnall's still in charge.
Yep.
The first woman to play the Time. Okay, Whittaker will star in a new 6-part series later this year, and 3 specials next year before she exits. So 3 specials, 90 minutes. That's what, 12
Yeah,
episodes.
right there. I'm going to tell you, everybody in the community is spinning this as we won. We're excited. The ones that screwed up Doctor Who are leaving, and I'm sitting here going, nothing has changed yet.
No.
They have a whole nother season and a bunch of movies that they can double down and make things even worse. Melissa Harris is absolutely right. Doctor Who is dead.
I'm sorry.
Nobody cares anymore.
I hate to agree with you on this, but I don't see how it can recover. I'll continue to read the article, then I'll give my 2 cents. In a statement, Whittaker paid tribute to Chibnall and the Doctor Who team, adding, "I will carry the Doctor and the lessons I've learned forever." Chibnall, who appointed the actress to replace Peter Capaldi. You know what? Do I even want to read this nonsense? Okay. Cannot thank Chris enough for entrusting me with his incredible stories. Blah blah blah. Okay, let's go to the better part of the article.
This is just the
whole
in-group circle jerk that, pat each other on the back and say how great we are. We did so good, despite the fact that you lost money, despite the fact that the numbers are in the toilet, and nobody's even watching your damn show anymore.
Let me get to that. It's in the article. Okay, for her final series, Whittaker will once again be joined by Mandip Gill as Yaz and comedian John Bishop, who will play a new character named Dan. The 13th Doctor's first episode in October 2018 was watched by almost 11.5 million viewers in the sci-fi drama's biggest audience for almost a decade. It was also the biggest show of the week, ahead of Strictly Come Dancing and The Great British Bake Off. But the show's ratings have dropped in recent years. Whittaker's last episode, broadcast in January, attracted a consolidated audience of 6.3 billion. While many have praised Whittaker's casting, some fans and critics have criticized the show's recent narrative direction. Telegraph described recent episodes as flat, worthy, and woke, despite Whittaker's talent as an actress, while The Sun reported viewers were left furious by the show's unbearable political correctness. One of the long-running drama's unique features has been regeneration, where the Doctor completely changes their physical appearance, allowing the show to recast its lead every few years. Chibnall is currently writing and producing the next series of Doctor Who, which will air later this year. Okay, so we have a final feature-length special where the 13th Doctor will regenerate, will transmute in autumn 2022 as part of BBC centenary celebrations. Yay. And Doctor's 60th anniversary is in 2023.
So I'm just going to repeat myself on Doctor Who and point out that nobody cares that the Doctor became a woman. Nobody cares that the Doctor could change forms.
I did.
No, I think that they did enough foreshadowing with Missy that it could have been just fine.
Okay,
the problem is that they went back and retroactively changed canon. And you never change canon. Because when you change canon, you change what the fans were fans of.
Well, now the Doctor isn't even a Gallifreyan. That was the big thing.
Exactly.
I remember a while back when you had that.
Well, that's what I'm talking about when you talk about changing canon.
I'm going to say this too, though. For me, growing up, what I liked about the Doctor is that they always talk about, young girls having to have female role models, right, and characters in fiction. Well, it's important for boys to have that too. And the reason I got angry when they changed the Doctor to a woman was that I always thought the Doctor was had different personalities, and it was showing boys that there were different ways you could be masculine. Do you understand?
True.
And all the Doctors had different personality types. They were all men. They were all these strange eccentric heroes in their own right. But it was a way for you to look at what you could be, okay? Because the Doctor wasn't necessarily the leading man type. Like, he wasn't like the dashing hero that got the girl. That wasn't his role. But he was still a man. He still had his own. He was like, if I could say anything, he's the teacher. That's what I always thought his role was. Okay, he
Sure.
was like a teacher. Okay, and I loved his character for that. And granted, if they had made him a woman and done the regeneration, I know they foreshadowed with Missy. Maybe I could have let it go if the writing had been top notch, like it had been. But instead, they just went and doubled down with the
Well,
political
that was
correctness.
the
They made it
point I
even
was
worse.
making,
Yeah, yeah,
because there was also, I mean, for all the problems that I did have with the end of the Stephen Moffat era, they were setting up for a very interesting transition to a female doctor when, the doctor had some doubts about himself. This would have been a great opportunity for them to even start talking about a lot of the stuff that people are having issue with these days, with all the gender stuff and all of this kind of stuff. What have we been saying all along? Sci-fi is a great way to deal with this stuff without beating people over the head with it, right? Especially with the doctor, who in and of himself, he's not really, male or female, you know what I mean? It's perfectly acceptable for him to explore femininity because he could. Why is he doing this? Because he had some issues to work through or whatever. They could have explored some really interesting character developing things there. But no, they turned it all into women are superior, glass ceiling smashing, the future is female, I got an upgrade. And, well, okay, perfect. You just pushed away 100% of your male audience. Congratulations.
yeah.
Hope you brought in enough women to meet and exceed what you just lost.
Did they lose a lot of the female audience?
They also lost a lot of the female
that like
audience.
the doctor.
Keep in mind that, there was a whole generation of people that came into it because they, thought that David Tennant was just flippin' sexy,
That was always weird for me as a classic Doctor Who fan. The fact that they were always hinting at romance between the Doctor, because it's like.
But I love the fact that they also downplayed it and had him feeling uncomfortable about it too.
Good, and it was and she got the clone anyway, so Rose always wins in the end. I think they made a point in that one finale that Rose wins while what's her name, the Catherine Tate character always loses. Though eventually he helped her out later on, remember? But it's like Rose got the good ending and she got the bad ending. Okay,
Rose was about as far as you could go with a companion without turning her into a Mary Sue, because I would argue that what's her name, the Impossible Girl, I forget
Jenna Coleman.
Jenna Coleman's character.
Yeah.
She definitely became a Mary Sue who outlived her usefulness as a companion.
I found her character kind of interesting though in that one Capaldi season, because I always felt she was her fiance died, and I think that messed her up. And I think the doctor was trying to help her, but she just kind of had a death.
That's another example of some bad writing, because they had some things set up with him that never got a payoff.
Right.
Where he had they were supposed to have had a kid together and stuff, and
it would have been interesting, yeah.
And it all gets kind of, I don't know, wibbly wobbly, timey wimey, but I think it was good to keep her on as a transition into the new Doctor. You should never have a Doctor and a companion leaving at the same time. You need there to be overlap.
Yeah.
But once she was there for that, they should have immediately had a reason to hand it off. And there had been several episodes where she was supposed to have left, where the gravitas, that one episode where she was... Clara,
Clara Oswald.
Right. Where the one Christmas episode where they had the things on their face and, she gets stuck in the dream and ages up and stuff. That was supposed to have been, she was trapped and ends up old and, that whole story there. But no, he goes back and reverses it and makes her young again so she can continue on with him, and, they also took away the fact that when she falls into the Doctor's time stream, and became part of his whole history, that was supposed to be the end of it. It was supposed to be her big sacrifice. Nope. Bring her back again. It's like, okay, every sacrifice she makes is meaningless. So then when she does the whole thing with the Raven, and is sacrificing herself again. And she's like, okay, save me again. I can't. There's no saving you this time. You blew it. You shouldn't have done that. It's like, it's about time, for F's sake. And they still circumvent it because they took a slice out of time where she could continue traveling around with
the girl from Game of Thrones.
The one girl who was from Game of Thrones. Yeah, it's like so. She's I don't know.
I don't know though. I know a lot of people rag on the second Capaldi season, but I kind of liked it. I almost liked the fact they didn't quite go there, and I was getting so anxious when I realized that prison he was in that he kept trying to break out of, that was a Time Lord prison. And I was thinking, are the Time Lords going to be is there going to be an adversary? And I was expecting some guy in the High Council. I know you think just because you saved Gallifrey that you can do whatever you want. And I was expecting a throwdown. We didn't quite get that. We got a little bit of that. I was because you used to get that, especially in the 80s.
Well, and that was a perfect throwback because we know that Rassilon, they recast him. So clearly there was a regeneration that happened. We assume that had something to do with the Master, but we don't know the specifics. And it's always best not to know those specifics. You kind of fill those details in yourself. You know something happened, you just don't know how it happened. And now that's where Chinballs comes in and decides, I am going to rewrite all of history and fill in all the gaps. And he literally pissed everybody off.
Yeah.
So, bottom line, good, they're leaving. Bad, we're still getting a whole nother season and a bunch of movies that gives them the opportunity to make things even worse. And look, when you know they're lame ducks and you know they're leaving, they have nothing on the line. They could literally do whatever they want.
They've already damaged it beyond repair.
Just wait and see what they come up with.
What are they going to do? Davros was originally a Time Lord. Davros was originally one of the Doctor's past generations, and he's the one that created the Daleks. So, I mean, I don't know what they're
that actually sounds like it could be a good interesting
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. Stop this. They already
by comparison to what they've done to him already.
My point is this. Okay, I'm okay with a couple Time Lords being bad. That makes sense. I like the fact that the Time Lords are not infallible. That makes sense. I didn't like the fact that, Gallifrey is evil and built on a lie, and now they're all dead anyway. After he went to all the trouble of bringing Gallifrey back, that whole big thing with the anniversary movie where they had David Tennant meet Matt Smith, and they figured out a way for him to bring Gallifrey back. Remember that they went to a whole convoluted thing because they said the one thing that always haunted the Doctor was the fact that I know you think that blowing up, but you killed children as well.
At this point, the only chance for Doctor Who is that they get rid of these two, take a break, get another showrunner a few years down the line, comes back and completely reboots it. Come in and does what they did with Christopher Eccleston. They do a little jump ahead. The Doctor does some timey-wimey thing, and you find out that there was a whole big reset, and all of that bullshit that happened with the Chibnall era was a bunch of crap, and it was a lie on the Master's part, and they pick it up from there.
Yeah, but here's the deal. You're still having to explain it all. I'm thinking, I don't know what to do at this point. I think hard reboot would be good, but that would mean going back to the beginning. It might be cool.
You'll never bring back fans if you do a reboot where you literally start from the beginning with the first Doctor and Susan. You will not get the fans.
This is the problem. See, the only other thing I can think of is do a hard reboot and forget. Of course, then you're basically forgetting about everything after McCoy, and I don't think that could work either. See, I don't know how to fix this.